Good morning. You noted yesterday that you didn't anticipate making any changes to your top two lines, and based on how you skated, looks like perhaps your mind changed overnight. Can you walk us through what you're looking for in terms of a response with this reconfigured forward lineup?
Yeah, I think being at home, you can throw a couple of different looks. So we'll do that tonight with some different looks.
And in terms of impacting the series or impacting the flow of play, I mean, is this targeted at just better controlling play 5-on-5 or getting in better at the forecheck? Like, what are you hoping to get more of from these lines?
Yeah, I think puck possession and forecheck is something that we've talked about where we have to improve on. Maybe a couple of changes in here that can help it, but it's still, you have to be connected at 5. I think these are the two areas that will help us, whether it's controlled play or, and like I told you guys also, there are plays there to be made. We're not making them. And I think we got to be a little bit more aggressive sometimes when we have those plays.
And just one more from me. Sorry, Farhan.
Sure.
Can you give us an update? Did Demko skate today, or will he skate today? And additionally, is there any chance you'll go 11-7 today, given that Neil Zaman didn't get skated with the scratches?
So for Demmer, he's improved immensely. Like I said to you guys, and yeah, he has skated. We've been able to calculate when he skates or not, and I think we've had a good pattern, and he's made huge strides. As of the 7-11, I don't know about that. Yeah.
Teddy Beluga had a lot of success with Joshua and Garland earlier this season before Dakota broke his hand. What was it about that trio that worked? Close
together. I think obviously Garland and Dakota have good chemistry. They're really good on the forecheck, and I think Teddy was kind of that third guy that kind of read the play, jump in there when he could. He's really good. He was good at reading off Garland and Dak. They were an opportunistic group. I mean, they scored some big goals for us, and they carried the play for us. When we were struggling, that line was something we really relied on. So they're familiar with each other.
It looks like two guys may get back in, Hoglander and Podkolzin. What do you need to see from those guys?
Well, Hoggy is obviously at his best when he's forechecking, and he's being a pest out there. And he's we talk about dog on the bone, and I think Podsy's a guy that same thing. If he can be first on the forecheck, get in on some people, which we need, and I think that's why with those two guys they can supply that for us.
What would you say the energy level that you need to see from Hoglander is? Because I think that's been something that he's struggled to do. Why has he struggled to maintain his energy in this playoff?
Yeah, I don't know if it's he's always has energy. I think I find because the playoffs started, instead of taking the puck to the net, he's pulling up. When he gets in the neutral zone, he's looking to pass. Man, that's his experience. I told him today, you got the puck. And you got a chance to skate with a neutral and go. I think right now he was looking to pass to Petey all the time, or he would just, he would slow down. And I told him, just because it's regular season, you don't slow the playoffs. You just keep doing your thing. I think it's experience. I think him sitting out a few games, he's had some. Maybe people don't really care about. I care, but I thought he had some really good practices the last 2 days, and his attitude's been great. So I think he'll be good tonight.
Rick, you've been big on stick on puck all season long, and I know that at times the team had some issues with that. But 4 games into this, the Oilers have had 10 power plays. It maybe feels like more as you guys have had some troubles killing them. But just between the whistles, what do you think of the way that you guys have defended and your discipline?
Yeah, I mean, listen, let's face it, they've had the puck a lot, and they've had some, they had a lot of shots. But, we're tied to 2, and a reason is because I think we've defended well. We've defended the middle, but saying that, we got to possess the puck more. We can't just let them keep shooting pucks. I get it, but if they are, it's going to be on the outside. I thought we've been disciplined. There hasn't been a lot of stick penalties on both sides. I mean, I think the series has been evenly officiated. I think the officials have been doing a great job. And from I've heard from their side, they're not complaining. So I think it's been great, to be honest with you.
And how do you assess your penalty kill? Obviously you're facing a historic power play on the other side. Are your guys doing what you as coaches want them to do and just accepting that you're running into this machine on the other side, or are there still things that you have to do better as a penalty killing group?
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, most of these power play guys are near the end of the power play. So that's one. So maybe that, you know, you don't have the right personnel. You can't have the guys play 2 minutes. And I feel at the end, I think for whatever reason, we're going passive when we should be aggressive. On that goal, Draisaitl, we had an opportunity to be aggressive. We didn't. Then we were over aggressive on Bouchard. That's the underneath play to McDavid. So I think that's a little bit system and a little bit of hesitancy not to go. When you play that power play, you know, the reaction is, oh my God, but you can't give them too much. They're great, don't get me wrong, but there are times, there's trigger points for us to go, and we're not going. Enough.
Hey, Rick, did you as a coach feel you had to do something to help Petey and give him better line mates?
Yeah.
How do you think him playing on the wing might change things versus him playing at center?
Yeah, first of all, I like the hybrid thing. It's not they can switch. I don't really care. For me with Petey, it's just landmarks. We were talking today about his landmarks. Is get to those landmarks quick to move your feet. I think if he knows it. Like he's and I get it. Like he wants the puck, but now he's at a point where somebody could give it to me. Then what happens when nobody gives it to you? You stand still. So I told him today, just go to your landmarks. That's it. If you get them, you get them. If you don't, you don't. Then you go from there. And I think, we watched video today again, and he was like, he's energized, and I think that's my job. Like, I got to help the kid out too. It's not all on him. I got to get him going with line mates or different approaches. It's 2-2 going in our building. Like he should be excited about it.
It's kind of now or never as far as production from him.
No, I don't think it like that. I honestly don't. I think he just got to play his game. Whether he gets a point tonight, I really don't care if he scores. Obviously, we would love him to score, don't get me wrong. I just want him to do the two simple things I want tonight. I know it'll help him. And don't worry about anything else.
Rick, when you talk about that aggression and playing aggressively rather than passively, how fine of a line is that, particularly for a young player like Höglander or Podkolzin that doesn't have that experience?
Well, that's why those games that he has played Hoggy, where I think it's going to help him for tonight, taking those 2 games off, spending some time with the coaches, video, having a couple of good practices. I think he'll be a lot more. The game will be a little slower for him tonight, even though it's going to be a high-paced game. And for me, for a young kid like that, he's at his best when he takes pucks to the net. And I told him today, unless somebody's wide open, I want you taking the puck to the net. Like he's deferring too much, and that's not Hoggy. His hockey. He's a guy that he smells an opening, he takes it, he attacks it, and he takes people with him. I mean, he scored some hell of goals off the rush too. So, I told him you don't have to dump the puck in all the time. If there's time and space, take it. Take one of those D wide. Things like that. And I think you just got to keep living it. Those young guys got to live it. They got to keep playing it. These are big games. This is big for these guys playing these type of temperature games. Huge.
Not that you want to see it, but would you rather see a player make a mistake, being aggressive and going out 100%, rather than kind of being passive or being caught in no man's land?
Well, there's a different type of aggressive. Like you just don't dive in. Like that's dumb hockey. I don't want guys being aggressive. Where you just dive in and give them. There's a time and place. But being aggressive, you take a guy wide and you see somebody open and you try to pass them. It hits a stick and goes the other way. They get a 3-on-2. Can't blame the kid. I'm not going to yell at the kid for that. But if you're diving everywhere, I mean that's not good aggression hockey. So I think there's a balance.
Derek, as you've gotten to know Podkolzin, I think you've called him a moose, you've called him a bull, and you've called him a bit of an intangible. The fact that you guys are at a league low in terms of shots through 10 games historically in the playoffs, is there something in Pod's game that might be an intangible in the sense of even through measured minutes, he's got a pretty good shot. You're looking for goals. You might not get him from your top 2 lines. How much of a wild card is he tonight?
Yeah, he's a wild card. I mean, if Podsy plays predictable hockey tonight, he'll be good. Like if he knows exactly where the puck is going, that's where the moose comes in, right? If he's waiting to go and I call it whatever, pause hockey, where you're just waiting around, then it's not his game. He's just going to be standing around. He's going to be late everywhere. So if he plays predictable and be aggressive on the predictable hockey, if you think the puck's going there, just go. And if it doesn't, I'd rather you just keep, like, at least you're going, instead of reading the play after it's happened. So that's what we talked about today. You know, don't worry about making a mistake on a read. Just be aggressive on your reads, especially when you don't have the puck.
Thank you.
Good? Thanks.